Sitka, Alaska, where the wild feels untouched and the air is crisp with adventure. Nestled between rugged mountains and endless ocean, this charming town blends native heritage, Russian history, and pure natural beauty. Whether you're here for the culture, the wildlife, or just to breathe in the remote serenity, Sitka welcomes you with open arms and unforgettable views. We woke up to glassy calm water and snow-capped peaks piercing the morning sky. As we sailed gently into port, we were greeted by a seal playfully swimming beside the ship, like our own personal escort into Alaska. Our excitement was building. We were headed for a 4x4 off-road adventure while our friends prepped for a peaceful morning kayaking through the surrounding inlets. To reach our excursion site, we boarded a small boat that zipped across the still waters. The ride alone was a thrill, but then came the magic moment. Our captain spotted a whale and, without hesitation, took us in for a closer look. There it was, breaking the surface, massive and graceful. It was an awe-inspiring encounter none of us will forget. Once ashore, we hopped into our 4x4s and ventured deep into the forest. Mud, gravel, and twisting trails, every turn brought a new surprise. And then it happened. We spotted an eagle, not just soaring overhead, but perched, right in front of us. We locked eyes from just 20 feet away. It was quiet, powerful, surreal. Our journey ended in a wide open field, surrounded by towering peaks and unspoiled Alaskan wilderness. The views were beyond words. As we made our way back by boat, the adrenaline turned to reflection. The sky had cleared and the sun lit up the mountains like a spotlight. Then, just ahead, our ship. Sitting majestically in the harbour, it looked like a floating city framed by nature's grandeur. It was the perfect ending to an unforgettable day in Sitka. While we set off for our 4x4 adventure, our friends were on their way to a kayaking excursion that promised a completely different perspective of Sitka. Their journey started with a short boat ride through calm, misty waters, quiet and still, like nature was holding its breath. On the way, they passed a buoy where a few sea lions were resting lazily in the morning sun, barely lifting their heads as the boat cruised by. But the real experience began once they launched their kayaks. Gliding across the glass-like water, they weaved through narrow channels surrounded by towering evergreens and rugged coastline. Every paddle stroke brought them closer to the heart of Alaska's wild beauty. Welcome to Skagway, Alaska, a stunning slice of wilderness nestled between steep mountains and icy blue waters. As you arrive, you're greeted by waterfalls, misty peaks, and that crisp, clean Alaskan air. The town may be small, but it's full of charm. Colourful shops, local crafts, and cozy streets invite you to slow down and explore. From scenic train rides through dramatic canyons to glacier flights, dog sledding, and wildlife spotting, Skagway is the perfect blend of beauty, adventure, and tranquility. It's everything you imagine Alaska to be. Waking up in Skagway was something special. From our balcony, the view was like a painting. Misty mountains, cascading waterfalls, and that peaceful Alaskan calm. We made our way off the ship, and the best part? Our helicopter excursion was literally right across the street. No bus ride, no wait, just pure adventure ready to begin. Lifting off, the town quickly disappeared behind us as we soared into a world of untouched wilderness. The higher we climbed, the more surreal it became. Jagged peaks dusted with snow, deep valleys carved by time, and a silence so complete it made you feel like the only people on Earth. Every turn revealed something more incredible. Towering glaciers shimmered beneath us, their blue ice glowing in the sunlight. Rivers wound through the mountains like silver threads, and clouds drifted lazily between the peaks. It wasn't just a ride, it was a front-row seat to Alaska's wild beauty. And then we landed. Stepping out onto the glacier was surreal. The ice crunched beneath our boots as we walked across a frozen world, still, silent, and impossibly beautiful. On the way back, the grand finale, we flew right over our ship. Seeing it from above, nestled between sea and mountain, was the perfect way to end an unforgettable flight. After landing back in Skagway, we spent some time exploring the charming local shops. But soon it was time for our next adventure, the Yukon Railway. We made our way alongside the vintage rail cars, taking in the polished wood and classic lettering. It felt like stepping back in time. Once aboard, we found a perfect window seat, and the views were instant magic. Towering mountains framed by pine-covered slopes, deep valleys and endless sky. Then came that iconic moment. The train curved along the edge of a cliff, and we caught a full view of the engine and cars ahead, snaking through the wilderness. It was a powerful reminder of just how remote, raw, and breathtaking this place truly is. Welcome to Juneau, Alaska, a city like no other. Nestled between towering mountains and the Gastineau Channel, Juneau is wild, remote, and absolutely breathtaking. There are no roads in or out, which means every visitor arrives by sea or sky, and that's just the beginning of the adventure. Glaciers surround the city, waterfalls tumble down forested cliffs, and bald eagles soar overhead like they own the place. Downtown feels like a cozy frontier outpost, full of charm, history, and that unmistakable Alaskan spirit. Whether you're here for the wildlife, the wilderness, or just the wonder of it all, Juneau welcomes you with open arms and wide open skies. And for us, the real adventure was just getting started. Waking up in Juneau, I stepped out onto the balcony to find the most breathtaking view. Misty mountains, calm waters, and that peaceful early morning stillness. We made our way off the ship, strolling alongside her in the rain, umbrellas in hand and excitement building despite the weather. Originally, we'd planned to go dog sledding, but unfortunately that was cancelled. Thankfully, we managed to book another excursion last minute, and it turned out to be something quite extraordinary. We boarded a helicopter and flew over some of the most stunning scenery, glacial valleys, rugged peaks, and eventually touched down on a floating platform near a glacier. Absolutely surreal. Then came the airboat. It was exhilarating, speeding across the water, weaving through bits of floating ice, with the wind in our faces and laughter all round. And then we came right up alongside the glacier. The ice was glowing, the most piercing electric blue, shimmering from every crack and crevice. It was simply mesmerizing. Eventually, we headed back to the platform and climbed back into the chopper, hearts still racing from that wild ride. But the best part, we weren't done yet. This time, we actually landed on the glacier. The silence, the vastness, it took your breath away. We wandered across the ancient ice, peering into pools and pockets carved over centuries, each one glowing with that incredible icy blue hue, like nature's own artwork. What began as a cancelled plan turned into one of our most unforgettable adventures. Juneau, you were full of surprises. As we arrived in Victoria, British Columbia, it felt like we'd stepped straight into a postcard. Nestled on the southern tip of Vancouver Island, this coastal gem perfectly blends old-world charm with breathtaking natural beauty. The majestic Parliament buildings and the iconic Empress Hotel overlook the bustling inner harbour, where seaplanes dip in and out of view and sailboats sway with the tide. Every corner bursts with colour,
from the hanging baskets along the streets to the world-famous Butch Art Gardens, a floral paradise just beyond the city. Victoria's quaint shops, seaside cafes, and relaxed pace offer a lovely contrast to the grandeur of its British heritage. From afternoon tea and double-decker buses to the peaceful trails of Beacon Hill Park, Victoria invites you to slow down and savour the moment. It's elegant, scenic, and truly unforgettable. We pulled into port late in the afternoon. From our balcony, we had a stunning view of Victoria's harbour. Not long after docking, we set off on our whale-watching excursion. And then, we spotted them. At first, it was just one dorsal fin, then two, and soon a whole pod of orcas emerged. We watched in awe as a mother swam closely beside her calf, rising and falling together through the waves. Every so often, one would breach just enough to send a shimmer of water into the air. The captain cut the engines so we could drift silently, and we listened. With each exhale from the whales, a soft puff of mist rose into the air. We stayed with them for nearly an hour, observing, captivated, humbled, seeing orcas in the wild. It's not something you forget. It stays with you long after the boat has returned to shore. And if you've enjoyed following us on this unforgettable journey, don't forget to check out our channel for more travel adventures. Like the video, subscribe, and come along for the next one. We're just getting started.